I'm going to show you how to use bar modeling to solve some problems that involve division as well as possibly multiplication or other operations. So our first problem says that Cameron saved $160 every month for half a year. She then bought 8 presents with the money she saved. How much did Cameron save in half a year? And what was the cost of each present if Cameron paid the same amount for all the presents? So again, we're following the steps to successful problem solving. First, we read the problem, which we just did. Then we're going to find the questions and rewrite them in a sentence form, leaving a blank for the answer. So we have more than one question in this problem. We have how much did Cameron save in half a year? So I'm going to write Cameron saved blank in half a year. And since this is money, I'm going to go ahead and also put the dollar sign in so I don't forget to do that. The other thing that it's asking is what was the cost of each present if Cameron paid the same amount for all the presents. So we would say that each present cost, again, we're talking money. So I'm putting the dollar sign in at this point. Now, I'm going to go back into the problem and look for things that would help me solve the questions being asked. I'm looking for the important information. So it's important to know that she saved $160 every month, and she did this for half a year. It's also important to know that she's going to buy 8 presents, and that the presents were the same amount. They cost the same amount. So now that I've highlighted important information, I'm going to draw my bars. So what we have going on here is we have her saving $160. And we have her doing this repeatedly. She's doing it for half a year, which is 6 months. So she's doing this for 6 times. Now, you could draw your bars repeated 6 times, or what you can do is you can draw ellipses so you don't have to draw so many bars, and show that you know they're being times by 6. So it's the same amount 6 times. So that's going to give us how much she saved for half a year. So we need to work that out. I don't have a lot of room. I'm going to try to squeeze it over here. We have 160 times 6. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 6 is 36. And 6 times 1 is 6 plus 3 is 9. So she saved $960 in half a year. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in this blank. So now I only have this much to solve. And I have to solve for how much she spent on each present if she bought 8 presents. So again, instead of drawing out my bar and having to divide it up 8 times, I can show that since it's the same amount, it just is repeated. I'm writing a P here for presents. I'm going to write my dots, my ellipse, another P. And I'm showing that that total is 960, and it's being divided by 8. So over here, I'm going to work that part out. 960 is our dividend, and 8 is our divisor. We can take 9 items and pass it around 8 times, and everybody would get 1. 1 times 8 is 9. I'm sorry, 1 times 8 is 8. So I'm multiplying. Now I subtract, and then I bring down. 8 goes into 16 twice. 2 times 8 is 16. I bring down my 0, and I get an answer of 120. So with the $960, Cameron spends $120 on each gift. Cameron, I hope one of those gifts is for me. So I hope you can see, as I showed you here, how to show repeated bars that are the same amount without having to divide it up and write these bars over and over again. This is just a little shortcut if you want to use it. Okay, I'm going to show you one more problem. And this one says Dylan, Michael, and Jeremy had $171. Michael had twice as much money as Dylan. Jeremy had 3 times as much money as Michael. How much money did Jeremy have? So the question being asked is, how much money did Jeremy have? So I'm going to rewrite that. Jeremy had, again, this is a money problem, so I'm putting my dollar sign in from the start. Now I'm looking for the important information to help me figure out how much Jeremy had. Well, there's 3 guys. That's probably important to know. And together they had $171. It's important to know that Michael had twice as Dylan. And Jeremy had 3 times as Michael. So what this tells me is that Dylan is the unit that I'm going to base everything else upon. I don't know how much Dylan has, but this bar is representing it. Michael, it said, had twice as much. So I'm going to take the bar, the same length as Dylan's, but then it's twice as much, so I have to draw another one. Now Jeremy had 3 times as much as Michael. So this is Michael's amount, and I have to do that 3 times. That's 2 times, and that's 3 times. So again, with Dylan's bar being our standard unit, I can add up how many units we have in total. So here's 1, 3 here, plus this is 6 more for a total of 9. And all of these bars together need to total up $171. So I'm simply going to divide 171 by 9. When I do that, I can't take one item and pass it around to 9 people. So I just put a little X there to hold its place. And now I look at the next. So I have 17 divided by 9. That goes 1 time. 1 times 9 is 9. I subtract to get 8. I'm going to bring down my 1. And I have 81 divided by 9. And that goes in evenly because 9 times 9 is 81. I have no remainder. So this tells me how much each of these units represents. They represent $19. So I haven't quite finished the problem yet. It's asking me how much money did Jeremy have, not how much Dylan had. So Jeremy is $19 6 times over. So 19 times 6. And when I work that problem out, I get $114. So Jeremy has $114. And as I look back over it, this is a logical answer. It does make sense because my picture is showing me that he had quite a bit more money than everybody else. So when you're working these problems, and you have to do division in order to solve the problem, don't forget about your division man or division woman that you drew in class. Have that out to help you remember the steps to division if you need to refer to it. Good luck on your homework. I'll see you in class.